We return to the many stories of Hollow Knight. We covered the rise and fall of the kingdom of Hallownest, the sad story of the Hollow Knight itself. But what if I told you that the most beloved character of the game was also called the Hallownest in order to help save it? Their purpose unknown. However, he knew he was supposed to be there. Through many battles fought and hardships overcome, they persevered and brought justice for all the bugs of Hallownest. That's right, this is the journey of Quirrel. We all know that the Hollow Knight is the one that called the knight to come to Hallownest. Quirrel was also called to Hallownest, but not by the same forces as how the knight was. So let's start from his beginning, the Quirrel comic. In this comic, released by Team Cherry, we follow Quirrel as he begins his journey to get to Hallownest. He feels as though something is calling him into the kingdom, so he allows the wind to guide him in. On his travels, he offers aid to a bug that is in distress. We meet Boone, a bug that looks similar to Tuck, who we find rummaging around in the royal waterways. Boone and Quirrel share a meal and then head off in the same direction towards the kingdom until they split off halfway. Quirrel has dreams of Hallownest, visions of the many lands between, almost as if he has been there before, all the more reason for him to go see it for himself. However, once he arrives at the foot of the Howling Cliffs, a familiar face confronts him. Hornet, as she does with all new travelers, accuses him of attempting to commit tomfoolery, and so she initiates combat. But when trying to attack Quirrel's mask, she realizes that he was called here to finish a mission bestowed upon him in the past. And so, with confusion, Quirrel continues his ascent through the cliffs and arrives at the path heading into the kingdom of Hallownest. This brings us up to the events that occur at the beginning of the game. Quirrel arrives only moments before the knight does, seeing as the first place we meet him is in the Black Egg Temple. He states that he has been drawn to the kingdom for quite some time, wanting to experience the wonders and horrors that lie within. And so, as we journey through the many lands within the kingdom, so does Quirrel, coming across them in many different places such as the Lake of Un, admiring the view at the top of the City of Tears, and getting a quick splash with him in the sauna in Deep Nest of all places. But each time we see him, he questions what it is that has been calling him there, even questioning why he knows things that he shouldn't, such as knowing that there is a nailsmith in the capital, and even have an idea of how he looks. So what is it? Why is he there? What called him to this dark and treacherous land? What is Quirrel's purpose? Well, it turns out the reason that Quirrel has faint memories of the kingdom before his arrival is because of the fact that he has already experienced all of Hallownest in the past. Quirrel was a mentee to that of Monomon the teacher. It is only when you meet him in the teacher's archives that he remembers his purpose, the reason that he carries around a mask. When the initial seals were placed upon the Hollow Knight, Monomon thought it was necessary to put an extra seal on herself, the key being her very mask. She gave the mask to Quirrel and sent him far away from Hallownest, and when the time came to return, he would know. However, how do we explain Quirrel losing his memory of such an important task? Well, we already know that without a pale being's guidance, bugs are left to their base instincts. They are primitive and savage. But what if a bug were to leave that sanctuary, cross the border between intelligence and primitive nature? The theory is that once Quirrel left beyond Hallownest, he started to regress back into his primitive state. Fortunately, not to a great extent, but it began with his memories, losing most of everything he had experienced through his time in Hallownest, hence him coming back to a seemingly familiar place. Further proof of this theory is the comparison between Boone and Tuck. As I stated earlier, they are both the same type of bug, but Tuck speaks perfectly normal, seeing as he resides within Hallownest walls. On the other hand, Boone speaks in broken sentences, often saying words in the wrong order. This is because he lives beyond the kingdom and is returning to his primitive self. Assuming he stays out there for an extensive amount of time, he will likely fully return to that savage state of mind. Unfortunately, due to Quirrel losing his memories, he doesn't actually realize his age has already caught up to him. Having journeyed through the kingdom in 2 ages, he is much older than what he puts on. We can tell this because of his dialogue. The first few times you encounter him, his voice sounds like a young bug, someone that is ready to begin their journey through the kingdom of Hallownest. However, later on, especially when you meet him in the teacher's archives, he sounds like an old bug, one that has lived a full lifetime. Early in the game, when you meet him in the City of Tears, he states that he would like to see the source of where the rain comes from. Well, we know that the source is from the blue lake above the capital. So lo and behold, that is the last place that we encounter Quirrel. At this point, he has realized his age and acknowledges that he has lived 2 lifetimes, but appreciating the fact that he got to experience the kingdom twice. We can sit with him one last time. When we leave and come back to the blue lake, we see his nail, alone at the edge of the lake. Many assume that the lake became Quirrel's final resting place. Others theorize that he left the kingdom altogether. But in order to find out exactly what happened to Quirrel, we can just ask Team Cherry themselves.
Okay, next question. What happened to Quirrel?
We don't know.
Yeah, we're not sure.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll never know. Quirrel is regarded as best boy throughout the Hollow Knight community. He is probably the coolest character in the game. Without him, Hollownest would have been doomed to their fate. So technically, it was him that saved the kingdom, not the knight. We traveled the land with him, we fought a battle with him, and most importantly, we had a nice splash at the sauna with him. No other character would have done the same. Well gang, that's a wrap for this video. Let me know what you guys think of the story of Quirrel, and let me know how I did covering it. As always, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see y'all all in the next video. Babbage out.